You may have already heard of the richest man in the world. Imagine a young man with giant dreams but without the financial support he needed. He looks around and sees industry giants dominating the market while he is still trying to figure out how to start. That young man is Bernard Arnault, who, like you, began without a clear direction in his life. Arnault knew the path would be difficult. He could have given up in the face of challenges. But something inside him pushed him forward. The pain of not achieving success, of being just another person, was his greatest motivation. Today, with a net worth of $204 billion, Arnault dominates the business scene, with globally recognized brands like Louis Vuitton. Bernard Arnault was born in 1949 in Roubaix, a small industrial town in northern France, where the future seemed predetermined by work and family tradition. Few could have imagined that this boy, born into an upper-class family involved in the construction industry, would develop a vision beyond his family's work. From a young age, he demonstrated a keen curiosity for business and a natural talent for observing the details that make a difference. Accompanying his grandfather on visits to construction sites, Arnault began to understand that success came not only from the ability to build, but also from the skill to transform and create something greater. Despite his affinity for business, Arnault had another great passion: music. The piano was his escape, his space to imagine and challenge himself. However, he soon realized that, while his business talent was evident, a musical career was not destined to be his future. Instead, he decided to channel his energy into something more concrete and challenging, enrolling in the prestigious École Polytechnique, one of France's top institutions. There, he not only excelled as a student, but also emerged as the top of his class, proving that the combination of discipline, strategic vision, and a touch of creativity could be the key to unlocking a promising future. At just 22, Bernard Arnault took his first step into the business world by joining Savinel, the family business, as an engineer. However, his vision was always broader than simply following the path laid out by generations before him. He quickly realized that the company's growth potential was limited if it remained in the construction sector. 4 years later, Arnault took command of Savinel, appointed by his own father. And this is where his boldness began to shape his leadership style. One of his first major decisions was drastic and ambitious, shifting the company's focus from construction to real estate, specifically tourist apartments. In a strategic move that few at the time would have dared to execute, Arnault directed Savinel's resources toward this new segment, seeing a growth opportunity overlooked by most. His intuition was correct. Under his leadership, the company quickly became France's largest real estate developer. This shift was an early demonstration of his ability to see beyond the present, anticipating market trends. In 1981, the political landscape in France changed dramatically with the election of François Mitterrand. For many business leaders, this new socialist era signaled the end of their ventures. But Bernard Arnault saw this change as an opportunity for expansion and reinvention. Determined to seek a new challenge, he crossed the Atlantic and settled in New York, a city where economic dynamism pulsed on every corner. From his new office at Rockefeller Center, he began planting the seeds of his future global empire. It was during this phase that Arnault began building a powerful and influential network. He quickly integrated into circles that included some of the biggest names in U.S. business. And it was in this environment that he met Donald Trump. The American entrepreneur, known for his bold style and taste for grand projects, became an important ally and, more than that, a personal friend of Arnault. This connection would open doors and provide valuable insights into the workings of the luxury market and investments in the U.S. Not everything was perfect during his arrival in America. Arnault faced obstacles, such as his involvement in a real estate project near a nuclear power plant, a decision that did not yield the expected results. However, far from being a disaster, this experience gave him a deep understanding of the risks and rewards of operating in markets so different from Europe. What became clear to Arnault was the immeasurable value of French brands on the global stage. The realization that the sophistication and prestige associated with French luxury labels had an irresistible appeal worldwide began to crystallize. When Bernard Arnault returned to France in 1984, he was no longer the same young entrepreneur who had left the country. His experience in the United States, especially his understanding of the cultural and commercial value of luxury brands, had shaped his vision. With a sharp eye for spotting opportunities hidden amidst crises, Arnault returned determined to make history. That's when he came across the Boussac Group, a declining conglomerate on the brink of bankruptcy. While for many this acquisition seemed like a shot in the dark, Arnault saw beyond the negative numbers. Among the financial wreckage of the group, a rare gem shone: Christian Dior. Christian Dior, one of the most iconic brands in French fashion, was struggling, but Arnault knew it had immense potential. Without hesitation, he decided to buy the Boussac Group, facing a landscape of uncertainty and market skepticism. However, upon taking control, Arnault was relentless. He initiated a radical restructuring, selling off peripheral brands and cutting everything that didn't fit his vision for the future. In a calculated move, he focused all efforts and resources on Dior. Dior quickly became more than just a brand. It became the symbol of Arnault's rebirth as a visionary in the world of luxury business. He understood that the key to global success wasn't just offering products, it was about selling an experience. After successfully transforming Christian Dior into the star of his portfolio, Bernard Arnault already had his next target in mind: LVMH, a conglomerate that brought together some of the world's most prestigious brands, including Moet and Chandon, Hennessy, and Louis Vuitton. LVMH was already synonymous with luxury, but Arnault saw potential for something even greater. And once again, he demonstrated his ability to act with surgical precision in the market. The opportunity arose in a characteristic way. Arnault took advantage of internal tensions within LVMH, where disputes among shareholders created an environment ripe for a takeover. He carefully studied the company's vulnerabilities and, with the support of banks, launched a bold, hostile takeover bid. What many saw as risky, Arnault viewed as a calculated strategic move. He knew that with the right brands and focused management, he could transform LVMH into the world's largest luxury empire. Upon taking control of LVMH, Arnault applied the same methodology he had used with the Boussac Group, a relentless focus on what really mattered. Smaller or less strategic brands were discarded, while he concentrated resources on the most prestigious labels. The impact was immediate. Under his leadership, LVMH not only regained its prominence, but also expanded aggressively, consolidating itself as the largest luxury conglomerate in the world. This move once again highlighted Arnault's unique talent for spotting opportunities where others saw risk. His ability to step in at the right moment, articulate complex strategies, and execute them with precision defined the future not only of LVMH, but also of the luxury market itself. If you're enjoying this inspiring story of this great entrepreneur, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That way, you'll be the first to know when more inspiring videos like this one are released. Let's continue. With the acquisition of the Boussac Group and the focus on Christian Dior, Bernard Arnault began to build his reputation as a firm and uncompromising leader. It didn't take long for his radical decisions to provoke intense reactions, especially in a France still strongly influenced by socialist ideals at the time. The dismissal of around 9,000 employees shortly after he took control of the group sparked a wave of criticism. Many saw the measure as unnecessary, but Arnault viewed it as an inevitable necessity to ensure the company's survival. For him, saving iconic brands required swift and decisive action, even if it came with a high social cost. The drastic restructuring, which included deep cuts and the sale of unprofitable divisions, allowed the Boussac Group to be revitalized. His focus on results and efficiency became a hallmark of his management style. Within months, the market noticed the impact of his decisions. The stock value tripled, and the group, once on the brink of collapse, became competitive again. While some criticized him for what he had done, Arnault knew that this was the only way to secure the future of the brands under his control. His vision went beyond saving companies. He wanted to turn them into global powerhouses. This capitalist mindset, combined with his ability to see the bigger picture, quickly earned him respect and admiration in the business sector, not just in France, but around the world. Under Bernard Arnault's tireless leadership, LVMH went from being a respected conglomerate to a true global force. His strategy was clear: Aggressive expansion and diversification into multiple sectors, always with a keen eye on brands that could be elevated to new heights. LVMH was no longer just a fashion and leather goods empire. It came to dominate sectors like wines, perfumes, jewelry, and even luxury hotels. With this vision, Arnault built a portfolio that included brands such as Louis Vuitton, Christian Dior, Fendi, and Givenchy, along with icons like Dom Perignon and Hennessy. Every acquisition Arnault made was meticulously planned. A standout example was the purchase of jewelry brand Tiffany & Company, one of the most daring and expensive moves in LVMH's history. For $14.7 billion, Arnault brought the legendary American jeweler into his empire, in a maneuver that further consolidated his influence in the luxury market. This acquisition wasn't just about numbers. For Arnault, it was about integrating iconic brands and ensuring they remained relevant in an ever-evolving global landscape. His focus on continuous growth, however, wasn't just about acquiring brands. Arnault knew that the real power lay in the ability to integrate these names into the LVMH universe, maintaining their unique identities while leveraging the conglomerate's resources and prestige. A fundamental trait that sets Bernard Arnault apart from many other business leaders is his long-term vision. While others may be swayed by the daily fluctuations and immediate pressures of the financial market, Arnault keeps a firm focus on lasting strategies. For him, daily market fluctuations are just temporary noise, with no real impact on the future he envisions for LVMH. This mindset, anchored in patience and sustainable growth, has been crucial to the company's steady rise. This strategic approach became even more evident with LVMH's aggressive expansion into key markets such as China and the United States. Arnault recognized, long before many of his competitors, the immense potential of these growing markets. While others hesitated, he invested heavily, betting on the universal appeal of luxury brands. In an increasingly globalized world, Arnault understood that iconic brands like Louis Vuitton and Christian Dior could cross borders and connect with consumers on any continent. His belief in long-term brand building shaped every acquisition and strategic move. To Arnault, a luxury brand is not just a business. It is a legacy that must be preserved and continuously renewed for future generations. Bernard Arnault always knew that true success is not only measured by what is achieved, but by what is left for the future. While he built LVMH into the largest luxury conglomerate in the world, he also meticulously planned succession, ensuring that the empire he erected would not only survive but continue to thrive in the hands of the next generation. His 5 children, all involved in different areas of the company, are proof that Arnault views the business as something deeper than a mere corporation. He sees it as a family legacy, destined to cross generations. Each of his children plays a strategic role in LVMH's continued growth. Delphine Arnault, for instance, is one of the group's top executives and serves as CEO of Christian Dior, one of the crown jewels of the conglomerate. Antoine Arnault, on the other hand, leads the group's communication and image while also holding key roles in brands like Berluti and Loro Piana. His other children, Alexandre, Frederic, and Jean, also hold important positions, each responsible for different areas of LVMH's vast portfolio. Bernard Arnault's journey is a testament to how a combination of strategic vision and unwavering courage can transform not only companies, but entire markets. He started as a young entrepreneur in his family's business, Ferret Savenel, and over the decades, he paved a path that would lead him to the top of the business world, redefining the concept of luxury on a global scale. Instead of settling for modest success in the construction sector, Arnault dared to imagine something much bigger. With a pioneering mindset, he saw opportunities where others saw risk, and it was this ability to anticipate trends and adapt to changes that placed him as the richest man in the world. His greatest moments of growth came precisely during periods of great turbulence. When he faced internal opposition at LVMH, Arnault didn't back down. He took control and shaped the conglomerate to his style, with a ruthless and results-oriented management approach. Tough decisions, such as layoffs and strict restructurings, were seen as necessary for survival and long-term growth. It was this willingness to do what was necessary, even when controversial, that allowed LVMH not only to survive, but to dominate the market. For any entrepreneur seeking success, Arnault's story offers valuable lessons. Take risks, even in uncertain times. Adjust course when necessary, and never lose sight of the bigger goal, which is to create something that can last for generations. He showed that sustainable success is not built overnight, but through a combination of patience, innovation, and an unshakable resilience in the face of challenges. Bernard Arnault's ability to turn challenges into opportunities cemented him not only as a business titan, but as a symbol of perseverance and long-term vision on the global stage. The story of Bernard Arnault is living proof that strategic vision, bold decisions, and a focus on the long term are key to turning challenges into great opportunities. He has shown us that success comes from seeing beyond the obvious and being ready to act when others hesitate. If you want to follow the path to wealth and prosperity, you need to adopt the same winning mindset. Now, if you're tired of living in poverty and really want to change your life, you can't miss the next video that's about to appear on your screen. In it, you'll discover how it's possible to get rich in just 6 months by creating multiple streams of income. This knowledge is essential for your journey toward financial success. So don't wait any longer. Click now and start transforming your life.